The sound of laughter from the next table felt like an echo from another life. Ethan Cole sat at a small corner booth of a quiet restaurant, nervously adjusting the cuff of his shirt for the 5th time. His daughter, Lily, had helped him pick it out that morning, a soft blue button-down, the one she said made him look like a movie dad. He had chuckled, but now, as he waited for his blind date, he wasn't sure if even a Hollywood wardrobe could help him. He wasn't the type to go on dates anymore. Not since the divorce 3 years ago. Not since his world had collapsed, and he'd found himself juggling late-night freelance carpentry jobs, school pickups, and bedtime stories. Love, that felt like something he'd left behind with his 20s, with the boy who once believed life could be perfect. The waitress passed by with a knowing smile. "Your date should be here soon," she said softly, setting down a glass of water. Ethan nodded, his palms damp. "Yeah, guess so." He didn't even know her name. Just Samantha. The setup had been his best friend's doing. "You need to live a little, man," Ryan had said. "She's classy, kind, and single. Trust me." He wasn't expecting much. Maybe a polite dinner, maybe awkward conversation, but definitely not this. Because when the restaurant door opened, and a woman walked in wearing a cream-colored coat and confidence-like perfume, Ethan's heart stopped. It was her, Samantha Evans, his first love, his college sweetheart, the girl who used to paint sunsets on the back of his old denim jacket. The woman who, 10 years ago, had broken his heart when she left town chasing her dreams, and never came back. Only now, she wasn't just the girl from his memories. The entire world knew her name. Samantha Evans, tech mogul. The billionaire founder of the life-changing accessibility app that helped millions. Her face was on magazine covers. Her story was the stuff of documentaries. And now, she was walking toward him. Her eyes widened in shock. "Ethan," he tried to speak, but all that came out was a shaky laugh. "Wow, I didn't think, I wasn't expecting." "Neither was I," she said, still staring. "Ryan set me up. I didn't know it was you." They both sat down, the air between them thick with memories and disbelief. For a moment, they just looked at each other. She had the same soft smile, the same eyes that used to see through every wall he built. But there was something else too, a weight, a wisdom time had added to both of them. "So," Ethan finally said, forcing a grin, "you became a billionaire." Samantha laughed, a quiet, melodic sound that made something ache inside him. "And you became a single dad with a power drill," he said lightly. "I build things now, custom furniture, repairs, that kind of stuff." "That's wonderful," she said sincerely. "You always loved working with your hands." He smiled at that. It was true. He'd always found peace in creating something solid when life felt unstable. But seeing her again stirred up the parts of him that had never healed. They talked, awkwardly at first, then more easily, like slipping into an old rhythm. She told him about her company, about the long nights and endless failures before success finally came. How she'd lost friends, time, and even her health along the way. He told her about Lily, his world, his reason for getting up each morning. He didn't talk much about his ex-wife, just said she'd fallen out of love, and that was that. At one point, Samantha reached across the table, her hand brushing his. "You've done an amazing job, Ethan," she said quietly. "I can tell. You're a good father." He swallowed hard. No one had said that to him in a long time. As the night wore on, they laughed about college memories, the time they got locked in the art studio overnight, the impromptu road trip to the coast, the plans they'd made that never happened. But under the laughter, there was something heavier. Regret. The what-ifs. The words left unsaid a decade ago. Finally, as they stood outside beneath the glowing streetlight, Samantha looked at him, her voice trembling just a little. "I thought about you, you know. All these years." Ethan's chest tightened. "Yeah, I wanted to call. So many times. But then life happened. I got caught up chasing success, proving myself. And I was afraid you'd moved on." He let out a long breath. "I tried. But some people stay with you." They stood in silence for a moment, the cool air filled with everything neither of them dared to say. Then she smiled sadly. "Maybe it's not too late to catch up." He smiled back, the first genuine one in a long time. "I'd like that." Over the next few weeks, they saw each other again. Coffee after work, lunches at the park, small moments that began to feel like something more. Lily adored her from the start. "She's fancy but funny," she told her dad one night. "You should marry her." Ethan nearly choked on his spaghetti. But life, as always, didn't make it simple. Rumors began to swirl online, paparazzi photos of Samantha with a mysterious man and child. Reporters camped outside her office, and suddenly Ethan's quiet world became a circus. One morning, Lily came home from school in tears. They said I'm not real. That I'm someone's publicity stunt. Ethan's stomach twisted. He wanted to protect her, to protect both of them, but how could he shield his daughter from the glare of someone else's fame? When he called Samantha that night, his voice was tight. "Sam, I don't think we can keep doing this." Her voice broke. "Ethan, please, don't say that. I'll handle it. I'll tell the press to back off. It's not just about them," he said quietly. "You live in a world I don't belong to. I fix broken doors, Sam. You run empires." She went silent for a moment. Then, softly, "Ethan, you were the one person who made me feel real before all this. Don't take that away now." But he did, because he thought it was the right thing, for Lily, for her. For everyone but himself. Weeks passed. He threw himself into work, but every corner of his small workshop reminded him of her, the scent of her perfume, the sound of her laughter echoing in his mind. Until one evening, there was a knock at the door. Lily answered it, and her face lit up. Samantha. Samantha stood there, drenched from the rain, holding a small wooden box. "I made something for you," she said softly. Ethan took it, confused. When he opened the lid, he found a hand-carved music box, simple, elegant, familiar. Inside, the tiny mechanism played the tune he'd written for her in college, the one she used to hum when she painted. "I remembered," she whispered. "You told me once that the best things in life aren't perfect, they're just real." "I forgot that for a long time." He stared at her, heart pounding. "Sam," she took a step closer. "I don't care about the headlines, the investors, the image. I've spent years building something the world could see. But what I really want is something I can feel." He looked at her, the rain in her hair, the tears in her eyes, and realized that maybe, just maybe, love didn't have to fit neatly into plans. Lily tugged at his sleeve. "Dad," she whispered, "can she stay for dinner?" Samantha laughed through her tears. "I'd love to." That night, they ate takeout on the couch, Lily telling stories between mouthfuls of noodles, Samantha laughing like she hadn't in years. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't perfect, but it was home. Months passed, and the noise of the world faded. Samantha learned to slow down, to find joy in simple mornings and messy dinners. Ethan learned to believe again, in love, in second chances, in himself. They faced challenges, of course. Critics called her reckless for dating a nobody. His ex-wife questioned his judgment. But none of it mattered. Because for the first time in a long time, they were building something that couldn't be bought or broken, trust. On Lily's 8th birthday, Samantha surprised her with a handmade easel, built by Ethan and painted by her. When Lily squealed with joy, Samantha looked at Ethan and said, "You were right. The best things in life aren't perfect. They're just ours." He smiled, wrapping an arm around her. "I think we've both had enough of perfect." As the sun set behind them, Ethan realized something powerful. Life doesn't give you love just once. Sometimes it circles back, years later, when you're older, bruised, and unsure, to remind you that what's meant for you might leave for a while, but it never truly disappears. In the end, the single dad couldn't believe it, not just that his blind date was his first love, or that she was a billionaire, but that fate had given him a second chance. And this time, he wasn't going to let it slip away. Because love, the real kind, doesn't care about timing, status, or perfection. It cares that, after everything, you still choose each other. And they did, every day, even on the messy ones, even on the beautiful ones, especially then.